Hi guys, I'm really sorry I can't be there today. I hope I will be back on Wednesday. But for class today, we're going to get started with a little review/refresher of metric conversions. As you should know, in science, we use the metric system. So our basic units in the metric system, that would be liters, meters, and grams. And then based on the prefix, whatever you put in front of those words, that is how you go up or down. So your basic unit, let's just call that a 1. And when you're going up or down, getting bigger or getting smaller, essentially all you have to do is move the decimal place. So we start the basic unit. If you have 1, you have a decimal place after the 1. It's not always like you don't write it, but it's implied that it's there. So let's start with our kilo prefix abbreviation K. That is 1,000 of your basic units. And theoretically, metric conversion should be very easy because you're just moving. Every time you go up or down, you're just going up or down by a factor of 10. So 1,000 divided by 10, 100. That would be hecto, or H. And 10 would be deca, or DA. And then as we get smaller, we're getting into our decimals. Deci, that is 0.1 or 1/10 of a basic unit. Centi is 0.01 or 1/100th of a basic unit. And finally, milli, which is 1/1000th of a basic unit. Now we are, in this class, going to be going even smaller than milli. So millimeters, for example, that would be a very small unit of measurement that you can measure on a ruler. Well, we're going to be using microscopes in this class. And when we're looking under a microscope, if we want to measure something, even millimeters are just too big to measure something under a microscope. So I'm going to put a couple more steps here, and we're going to skip these 2 steps. You don't really need to know those, but the step that you do need to know is micro. And the the symbol for micro looks like this. Okay, so micro is 1,000 thousandth. So it's 1,000th of a millimeter, which means it's a millionth of a basic unit, which means excuse me, micro would be 0.000001 of a basic unit. Now, if you can't draw the symbol for whatever reason, I know it's a little bit difficult, you can just write microns. When we're typically measuring micro, we're going to be measuring in micrometers. So we're measuring length, very, very small amounts of length. So you can write micrometer, you can write the symbol here, you can write microns, but particularly in the first couple labs that we're going to be doing, we're going to be converting a lot between millimeters and micrometers and so on and so forth. Now, all you have to do when you are converting is you need to know where your decimal place is, and if you're moving from right to left on your ladder here, that's the direction that you're going to move your decimal place. Your decimal place is going to move to the left. If you're moving to the right, your decimal place is going to move to the right. So taking this first example here, if you have 1,000 milligrams, so milligrams is here, and you want to go to grams, which is your basic unit, you're moving to the left, and then you just count how many times you move. You start here, you move 1, 2, 3, And if your decimal place is here, you move it left 1, 2, 3, and you end up with 1 gram. Now, if you're going the other way, if you're going from liters to milliliters, now you're moving to the right. It's still 1, 2, 3 spaces. Remember, your decimal place is implied after the 1. So if you have 1, you'd move your decimal place 1, 2, 3, and you fill in each one of these empty spaces with a 0, and you get 1,000. So I want you to please pause the video now for about 5 to 10 minutes. Students, you guys should work on the remaining problems on your own, and then when you guys are done with that, we'll continue the video and go over the answers for the last few problems. So go ahead and pause now. Okay. So I'm going to go over the rest of these rather quickly. 160, we're going centimeters to millimeters. You're moving to the right, and you're moving 1 space. So 160 centimeters becomes 1,600 millimeters. Kilometers to meters. 1, 2, 3, again to the right. So 1, you already have, oh, that's not where I wanted to write this down. So we're starting with 14, and then we're moving to the right 3 spaces. What do you fill it in with? Zeros, 14,000. Now this is going the next two are going the other direction. So we're starting with grams and going to kilograms. So we're moving to the left 3 spaces. So your decimal place starts here, 1, 2, 3, you get 0.109 kilograms. Same thing over here. Here's your decimal place, 1, 2, 3, 0.250. And these last ones down here, it's still just a conversion, but it's your basic math, less than, greater than, or equal signs. 56 centimeters or 6 meters. Well, 6 meters, moving to the right into centimeters, would move the decimal place over 2 times. That would be 600 centimeters, which is clearly bigger than 56, so that goes this way. And then 7 grams into milligrams, you would be moving the decimal place over to the right 3 times. That would be 7,000, which would mean 7 grams is bigger than 698 milligrams. Hold on to these worksheets, guys. If you have questions about that, see me when I return. I hope to be back on Wednesday. And get your note packets out because the next video will be filling out the remainder of that.